Welcome back to another clay video. Today, we are going to create the Master Sword from the Ocarina of Time. I've realized that I haven't created very many Zelda things on the channel, which I think is pretty weird because I really love the Zelda series. So I'm going to start making some more Zelda themed things on the channel, and maybe even some maps. For me, and a lot of other Zelda fans, the Ocarina of Time is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Zelda game ever created. And two of the most recognizable things in the Zelda series are the Triforce and the Master Sword, and this creation will combine both of those. It's such a memorable moment when you get into the Temple of Time and pull the sword from the pedestal, and turn yourself into adult Link for the first time. And even if you didn't play the Ocarina of Time when it first came out, it's still an amazing game to play, and it's held up really well over the years. Using some more gray clay, we can start creating the sword. I've traced out the basic shape of what I want the sword to look like, but using a knife we can get a much more detailed straight cut. Let's remove the excess clay. And at the top we need to cut it a little bit thinner. Now using some purple clay, we'll start creating all of the different details on the sword. After we have this first main piece cut out, we can start building everything on top of that. I'm using a very dark blue for the handle just to get a little bit of variation between the purple and the blue. Instead of using some clay to wrap around the handle, I think it looks much better to just cut out the design. And I use these little worms to cover up a lot of the different sections where the parts meet, and I think it just makes everything look a lot more clean. We can add a little bit of detail into those using the knife. Back to the first handle piece we created, we need to add in these extra little pieces on the side to make them look sort of like wings. The sword changes in design slightly from game to game, mostly getting more detailed as the games go on, and the hardest part about cutting these out is just making sure that they're both the same size. We can use the knife to start adding in some details. The middle of the handle seemed to be a little bit bland and lacking detail, so I added in these extra lines. Now we have this little gem that's in between the handle and the blade, and our sword is ready to get baked. I only baked it for 5 minutes because I don't think it really needs much baking time being so small. Now I'm adding in some silver paint to really make this sword shine. And we'll get the pedestal ready using the X-Acto knife. And to make sure the hole is the right size, we'll take our Master Sword and press it in there. And we can throw our base into the oven. I was going to finish the video at this point, but I think that it was a little bit too basic and needed a bit more detail, so I decided to go for the next platform of this pedestal in the Temple of Time. There's also a platform below this one that has the different symbols for the sages, but I decided to skip on that part and just make this first platform. Once we're done cutting it out, we need to make a Triforce symbol on top of it. So I'm just making some light markings to the shape of the triangle, and we can remove it and cut out the triangle. Instead of creating the different triangles like I did for the piece that holds the sword, I decided to just cut out the middle triangle right on top of the platform. And it got a little bit messy, but we can remove most of this using the knife. Again with the toothbrush to add in some more texture. And we are ready to get baked. After baking, I decided to not glue it onto the base, just so I can take it on and off whenever I want to. And with the sword in the stone, that is our final detail. So here it is, the Master Sword from the Ocarina of Time. What's this?
Oh no! What happened? Why am I so old? I'm late for dinner. I gotta go. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next one.